Well, good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the Barony Hall. It's a magnificent and fitting venue for this very special day, a day which some of you have been waiting almost 2 years for. And 2 years ago, the COVID-19 pandemic changed all of our lives, and it had a profound effect on the university, changing the way we work, the way we teach, the way we learn, and of course, preventing us from celebrating your graduation in person. But we've worked hard over the last 24 months to keep Strathclyde community safe while continuing to deliver a high-quality education and student experience. And I've been hugely impressed by how our staff and students have responded and adapted. Now, with positive indications we're coming out of the worst of the pandemic and with protection measures eased, we're delighted to be able to welcome you back in person to today's ceremony. Now, in a moment, we'll commence our special ceremony where our graduates will come up here on the stage and they will be capped, which is an ancient public rite of passage and a mark of achievement and a sign that you are part of a proud tradition stretching back to the Enlightenment when Strathclyde was founded. Once the ceremony is finished, you'll be invited to join us at the reception in our new Learning and Teaching building overlooking Rotten Row Gardens, just up the top of the hill here. But before we begin, let me say to you, please savor this moment. It's been a wee while coming. And to the families, friends, and supporters gathered here, please don't be shy in showing your appreciation for our graduates, short of maybe coming up onto the platform here, but please show your enthusiasm for this ceremony, which I now declare formally open. Well, thank you very much. I'd now like to invite Professor David Hillier, who's Executive Dean, to present to you our graduates.
My Lord and Chancellor, in the name of the University and by the authority of Senate, I present to you these students for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Management and Human Resource Management, Jennifer Marion Leslie. In Management and Human Resource Management with International Study, Niamh McCann. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Saif Sultan Al-Abri. Badar Talib Al-Alawi. Mariam Khalid Al-Balushi. Musaba Hamid Al-Hamdi. Irfan Ali. Juma Mohammed Al-Jabri. Fahar Abdul Rahman Al-Janahi. Mahmoud Haitham Al-Madani. Asiya Al-Raisi. Lana Therese Aurishan. Jose Amado Aponte. Remo Apaguas. Zainab Ibrahim Asiri. Brian George Bartlett. Graham Thomas Beveridge. Mohammed Abdullah bin Kawir. Ingo Bleschmidt. Charlotte Anna Bray. James John Brewster. Ronald Henderson Brown. Nakatindi Chalansi. Federico Cuffelli. Paul McIntyre Conley. Christophe Colongiat. Elizabeth Mary Cuthbertson. Modupiola Dairo. Panagiotis Dampanis. Kerry Elizabeth Darley. William Darragh. Janine Louise Defence. Mohammed Ali Debabi. Fatima Abdallah El Hosri. Benoit Fernandez. Jonathan Duncan Finney. Sarah Fitzsimmons. Nicholas Lawrence Folerino. Alexandros Giamuriadis. Michael Greenshields. Andrew John Hall. Ahmed Abdelhafez Mohamed Hamada. Sharn Ho Hui Ying. Amar Mahmoud Osama Mohammed Ibrahim. Sofian Jarjo. Rizwan Khalid. George Komninos. Irina Konovalova. Yanis Kontogiannis. Joseph Anthony Lamara. Tom Elwyn Lochner. Beth Suzanne Lockhart. Marianne Leburic. Marco Lucchetta. Pauline Mary Lunn. Fraser MacDonald. Dr. Andrew John Manchip. Sergio Vincenzo Marchesi. Daniele Marini. Apostolos Maros. Neil Allen McAleese. Alison Dawn McPherson. Maximilian Milkowski. Dani Agarao Miranda. Valerie Ann Mitchell. Kerry Louise Nealon. Simon Andrew Nicholson. Martine Ann Nolan. Ayobami Adeyemi Ugunwa. Christopher John Ollivant. Rachel Awara. Konstantinos Papagrigorou. David Patterson. Richard John Payne. Thomas Pendry. Anastasia Politi. William Dasharat Bandara Ranatunga. Sai Vishal Good Rasal. Melanie Teresa Russell. Latifa Saad Salmin. Raghu Sampazivan. Mark Patrick Stock. Jodie Sinclair Terrace. Yovi Tomalari. Joyce Patricia Thompson. Paul Toner. Theophilus Tsiepas. Aphrodite Vogdanu. Claudia von Scala Riechenbach de Souza. Thomas Andreas Valder. Andrew William Wilson. Ye Luan Wong. Anthony Wyville. Sun May Eunice. For the degree of Master of Science in Business and Management, Andrew Kazanave Pin. Davina Sushil Chubal. Megan Georgia Conley. Matteo Foyce. Emma Elizabeth Goldie. Rebecca Julie O'Toole. Nora Catherine Roche. Antigone Tirantuli. In International Management, Eugenio Berzanti. Sofia Boschetti. Taylor George Duthie Johnson. Mohammed Farhan Khan. Kyle McFarlane. Marilyn Christiana Melkert. Iro Akoinamopoulou. Maximilian Ngrua. In Project Management and Innovation, Cameron Dobie. Matteo Marcantoni. Mufaruwashi Melissa Unique Mutezo. Maxime Mustafa Pierre Tian. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Social Work, Amy McCourt. For the degree of Master of Science in Advanced Pharmaceutical Manufacturing, Rebecca McLaughlin. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Science, Helena Bashir. In Immunology and Microbiology, Zara Nadim. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Andre Hilton Lewis.
Well, let me once again welcome you to this special congregation. It's an unusual one because, of course, you've already received your degrees and you have already graduated. We were determined to offer all of our graduates the chance to come back here when the opportunity arose, to celebrate your achievements in front of your family, friends, and supporters, because it is undoubtedly the highlight in our academic calendar, and we couldn't let it go unacknowledged. We wrote to more than 8,500 of you, and we will be welcoming around half of that number back to Glasgow from across Scotland, across the UK, and across the world at 22 ceremonies, and this is the 22nd ceremony. And I might say that you, as the class of 2021, are particularly special in having faced the unique challenges brought about by the coronavirus pandemic. You've faced disruption to the way you've had to learn, to socialise, to sit for exams, and you've gone out into the world at a time of unprecedented challenges. But in the face of this, you've shown courage, determination, resilience, and adaptability. And as you forge your new careers, the university's values of being ambitious, bold, innovative, collaborative, and people-oriented will stand you in good stead. In a short while, you'll be invited to join an academic procession when we leave the hall. That's a symbol that you're no longer students, but now full members of the academic community at Strathclyde, one that numbers over 175,000 worldwide. And you follow in the footsteps of many graduates before, including illustrious alumni such as David Livingstone, John Logie Baird, Dame Elish Angiolini, Baroness Helen Liddell, Baroness Annabel Goldie, and Sir Tom Hunter, to name just a few. Your friends, family and tutors here with you today are immensely proud of what you've achieved and will have confidence in and continue to support your future success. So let's all show our appreciation with a collective round of applause for our alumni. I also know that throughout your academic careers, you will all have the support and encouragement of your families, friends, supporters, and teachers. Many of them are here today, and I'm sure you're extremely grateful for their support. So let us take this opportunity to show our appreciation and gratitude with another round of applause. And similarly, all of our graduates have been helped by our wonderful staff who've worked hard to provide you with a first-class education and outstanding student experience, and for whom your success is their reward. So graduates, please join me in showing your appreciation to them. Your success and our success as a university is due to the efforts of our staff who are delivering our vision of Strathclyde as a leading international technological university that's socially progressive and makes a positive difference to the lives of its students, to society and to the world. Now, I know many of you are already pursuing the careers or further studies you've set your sights on, and I hope the last year or two have been successful and productive time for you. We must acknowledge that you've graduated from university at a time when the world needs all the knowledge, skills, passion and commitment it can muster to tackle some really big challenges. And this includes the climate emergency we're facing. COP26, hosted in Glasgow, showed us urgent actions required, and global collaboration and inventiveness is the key to creating and implementing the solutions to this crisis. Our university is working across all of our faculties and disciplines to address the technological, scientific, economic, educational and societal challenges we face to reduce our impact on the planet that sustains us. And realising these solutions forms the essence of Strathclyde's mission to make the world better educated, more prosperous, healthier, fairer and more secure, and to deliver against the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Do you know, if the COVID-19 pandemic has shown us anything, it is the central and crucial role that science and universities play in helping us to overcome challenges. It was science working with researchers at universities that delivered vaccines for COVID-19 in record time. And it's science and education that will help us address our other challenges too. You know, Strathclyde Business School has many achievements to be proud of, including Professor Eleanor Shaw, Associate Principal, who's been awarded the Order of the British Empire, OBE, for services to entrepreneurship and education. Professor Shaw has more than 25 years' experience in delivering entrepreneurship education around the world, and she has helped to transform the university's approach to entrepreneurial teaching, research and innovation to drive inclusive economic growth in Scotland and the UK. And University of Strathclyde alumna and 2 visiting professors at the university have been appointed to a council of business leaders established to support economic growth in the UK. Alumna Anita Frew, who's chair of Rolls-Royce, is among the 28 members of the Business Council, along with fellow alumni Dr. Lena Willison, chair of AGS Airports and Picton Property, and also a visiting professor in Strathclyde Business School. And Keith Anderson, chief executive of Scottish Power and visiting professor in Strathclyde's Department of Accounting and Finance. The council, launched by Prime Minister Boris Johnson and co-chaired by Chancellor Rishi Sunak, will work in partnership with the UK Government, helping to drive a high productivity, high growth economy over the next 12 months and level up local economies around the country. And Strathclyde Business School has been ranked in the top 95 European business schools in the latest ranking from the Financial Times in December 21, ranking 53rd overall. Strathclyde is one of 19 UK business schools to be ranked and one of only 3 in Scotland. And this ranking is based on the business school's performance in the Financial Times other rankings, Global MBA, Executive MBA and Masters in Management. Strathclyde Business School's MSc in Finance programme has been ranked once again in the Financial Times 2021 ranking of the top 55 pre-experienced finance programmes. The top 55 programmes were ranked, with just 12 schools in the UK included in the international ranking, and our ranking moved up to 49th position overall. Now, when former US President Barack Obama visited our campus in November last year during his visit to COP26, his message to the waiting crowds was simple. As he paused on the steps of the Learning and Teaching building, which we're going up to shortly, he shouted, "Get active." You know, that's a rallying call that many of us can relate to, and it encapsulates the can-do attitude of the Strathclyde community. Strathclyde is an institution where freedom of thought is encouraged and valued, an institution exemplified by tolerance and inclusivity, one which seeks to play a significant role in shaping the world we live in through our teaching, research, and through you, our graduates. We hope you use the knowledge and wisdom you've gained at Strathclyde to play your part in bringing people together, to find common ground in our greater humanity, and to work together to build a brighter future, demonstrating Strathclyde's socially progressive values and ethos of tolerance, pluralism, and a desire to make a positive difference. And as Strathclyde graduates, you can champion knowledge, you can address social justice, you can question inappropriate behaviours and actions, including by those in authority, to help shape a better world. We hope that you will continue to stay in touch and let us know how you get on and continue to contribute to Strathclyde. Because through the involvement of our alumni, we can provide a first-class education and student experience for you. So we now ask you to think of those who will follow. But you know, now's the time simply to celebrate your achievements with your friends and loved ones. So on behalf of the University of Strathclyde, congratulations again to each and every one of you, and I wish you all great success in the future. Thank you. I now formally declare this congregation closed. I would now like to invite you to join the academic procession and ask families and friends to remain in the hall until the procession has left the building, and then join us in the Learning and Teaching building for refreshments. I have to say the sun is still shining despite weather forecasts, so we're going to be able to do the procession. Look forward to that. Please be upstanding.